8 signs that show you're doing well in life. Have you ever looked through the social media profiles of influencers who share their picture-perfect lives filled with glamour and success and wondered how they got there? You later looked at your own life full of struggles, fears, and unaccomplished goals and felt frustrated about your own progress. You may be thinking about all the things you still need to do and wondering why your life feels so miserable while others seem so happy, and most importantly, you feel like you're massively behind in life. You start to feel a little anxious, you believe you made poor decisions and start to feel like a failure. Unfortunately, wondering if we are enough is a common thought, because comparing ourselves to others is now easier than ever before. Social media and societal expectations make it hard to acknowledge our own progress, because we're so focused on what others are doing and achieving. Yet the truth is, the grass isn't always greener on the other side, even if it might seem so at first sight. We tend to believe that others are doing better because we only see the positive aspects of their lives, and that's partly because our perception of what a good life should look like is so screwed due to unrealistic expectations. You might see someone's big house and their fancy vacation photos, but you have no idea how peaceful or unhappy they are in that house or on that vacation. Ultimately, good and better are based on your perspective. You can be content with very little or own everything and still be unhappy. The good news is, whether we're doing well in life is mostly defined by small elements of our daily life. Before we start, if you don't want to miss out my latest video, don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell too. 1. You know what you don't want. Most people will tell you, you need to know what you want in life, but the truth is, knowing what you don't want is just as important. Even if you don't know what kind of job you want, knowing that you don't want a typical office job is a huge step forward. You might not know what your ideal relationship would look like, but you might know exactly what you don't want based on your previous experiences. This information alone will help you make the right decisions too. 2. You can celebrate the wins of others. If you have a pure heart, you will be able to wish others well and celebrate with them rather than bemoaning their success. So many people believe they must constantly compete with their coworkers and friends, when the truth is that we can all win. We live in an abundant world with many options and opportunities for everyone, and it is possible that we will all succeed in life. 3. You're not hyped about every new trend. Here's a truth most people will never accept: you don't have to be up to date on every trend, and you can say no to materialism. So many people's purchasing decisions are based on what society and random advertisements tell them to buy. Similarly, their big life decisions are also shaped by those trends. It is not always easy to break free from that cycle, but it is possible. You can live your life according to your own needs rather than following every new trend. Most people live paycheck to paycheck is because they're drowning in small monthly payments for items they purchase to prove their social status. If you can ignore those stupid games and make more thoughtful and sustainable choices, you'll be able to detach yourself from that pressure to constantly buy things you don't even care about, and instead use your money to create a life you enjoy. Many people believe that material possessions will make them happier or more successful, but in reality, they end up feeling miserable and drowning in consumer debt. Fortunately, genuine happiness is rooted in relationships and our inner emotions rather than things. 4. You're a little skeptical. A healthy dose of skepticism helps you seek truth rather than superficial information. Questioning life allows you to look beyond the surface and discover new paths you hadn't considered before. Most people do whatever they are told without ever questioning why. They behave like puppets because they refuse to accept responsibility for their actions. By doing the opposite, you're stepping up for yourself and showing the world that you want more than the ordinary. 5. You feel connected. According to research, meaningful connections are one of the most important components of happiness. Furthermore, they have an impact on our health. The good news is that you don't need a slew of pals. In fact, the number of relationships we can nurture at any given time is limited, so maintaining a small number of meaningful relationships makes more sense than having shallow conversations with hundreds of people. And if you don't feel that sense of connection yet, you can now start to consciously build your circle with like-minded people. For instance, you could join local events and clubs to meet people with similar interests. If that seems too difficult, you could start by simply joining online communities, which may lead to real-life friendships as well. 6. You know how to step back to enjoy life. Even though a good life isn't necessarily defined by what you accomplish, having certain goals and a vision of the future helps you stay energized and motivated. Having a strong purpose is also one of the common attributes of blue zones, which are 5 specific regions of the world where a great percentage of the population lives up to age 100 or more. However, in blue zones, your work does not always define your purpose. Their definitions are loosely translated as what makes life worth living, and if we're honest, for most of us, our work isn't what makes our lives more meaningful. It's our relationships, the voluntary work we do, or our hobbies that add meaning to our lives. Nonetheless, more than half of Americans report a lack of proper work-life balance and working more hours than they are comfortable with. Working less and spending more time on other activities isn't always easy, because most of us were raised to believe that we had to work hard to be worthy, yet it's crucial. And even just being aware of this fundamental truth is a step toward living a better life. 7. You're not afraid of asking for help. Life can be so simple and good if we put our egos aside and ask for help whenever we need it. We're all good at some things and bad at others, and it's okay to be bad at something. Allowing yourself to be supported, whether by a friend or a professional, is the ultimate life hack because it allows you to save time and do things correctly instead of struggling on your own. 8. You can admit your mistakes. Accepting your mistakes and taking responsibility for your actions without blaming others shows that you can let go of the past. It also shows that you do not let your ego dictate your future. It's always easier and more comfortable to blame others, but it's also what keeps us stuck. If you can accept that it's mostly your own choices and actions that have led you to your current life, you're more self-aware and emotionally mature than most people will ever be. You may not yet be where you want to be, but if you can be patient and allow yourself to gradually discover new opportunities for growth, you will eventually get there. Even though we'd all like to have a little more stability and certainty in our lives, the truth is that we'll never have it. We're all experiencing life for the first time, and each challenge teaches us something new about ourselves and the world around us. At the end of the day, life is finite, even if we are constantly striving to improve ourselves and become happier, healthier, and wealthier. We must take time to appreciate the progress we have already made. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next episode.